This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update, episode 880. Keep her calm and carry on. Enjoy. So, Tanis, how are you feeling with what we got this week?
I'm kind of two minds. I think that they are improved, and of course, the combat stuff is just peachy.
Oh boy,
that's
is it
good. I just, it. I was expecting something different.
Okay. Well, let's get
and I
into
think expectations kind of messed me up with this a little bit.
Fair enough.
And that's where I'm at. Yeah.
All right. What about you, Taxi?
Oh yeah. I mean, they made the rewards that, like, previously, effectively the reward was you got 900,000 experience, which, let's be frank, is still pretty good.
Yeah.
Now they've actually made the other rewards usable, and the Ring of Vigor is lovely.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right.
I like it. There's more to come, apparently. So,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's dive in. Post-quest skilling station XP has been increased, and the amount of resources required for conversion has been reduced. And if you already had your skilling station set up, you enter the Dream of Iaia, and you would get a boost from what you previously had, so you wouldn't be penalized from building beforehand. And the changes we're talking about here, previously it was a 10-to-1 XP ratio. Now it's a 10-to-5 XP ratio, which when you simplify that down is, of course, 2-to-1, 2 resources to 1 XP. And you can now store up to 350,000 XP in your skilling station. So with that, that's 700,000 worth of your Anachronia resources you could dump into your skilling station of choice. And it buffs up to 135k XP instead of the base 15k if you did that beforehand. And they say this equates to about 43,000 XP per day over the selected skills if storage is kept up.
Yeah. I think because the base camp fills up every 10.5 days, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
If you've got max rank on it. So this means that once every, if you're putting XP into all the stations, they'll fill up within 50 days. You'd have full stations to go and AFK, and then AFKing those full stations down would take you like 6 hours.
Yeah.
So 50 days, 6 hours.
And the question, of course, at the end of this all is this still enough to get the lore fragments and other potential drops? But we'll talk about how those were buffed as well. With this, and I just have to say, I think this is where the two minds thing comes into play, Tanis. Like, for me, where I'm at, maxed 99s, I feel that this isn't necessarily a game changer for me, except for getting the lore stuff and maybe some XP if I decided to go for a 120 hunter or something. But on the other hand, if I was to decide on my skilling pier, which is still a level 3, that's a decision I make, so I handicap myself, so I won't be doing City of Sentistina anytime soon on that unless I decide to throw that rule out the window and then progress through to Extinction. I would be over the moon for the free XP in skills like fletching, crafting, construction, hunter that this brought. If I didn't have 99s and I had done this quest. That's how I'd be looking at that if I didn't have 99s and I had just finished this quest.
I mean, even post 99s, it gives you pet chance,
True.
I don't think there's lower than 99s would even be interacting with this.
Well, I mean, when you look at the level requirements for Extinction and such, it's not a quest that max players should do. Only.
Right, but we also know that those level requirements are hidden in the quest requirements.
My alt, who has a quest cape minus this quest, because I've not gone back and done it on my alt yet. I've been waiting on that. My alt has about 80-ish for most non-combat stats.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to get used to this. I mean, that's a grand total of like 2 mil, so I've got 10 mil XP to gain in a lot of these skills.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get some use out of it for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like everything here is just amplified up to a point where it actually feels useful now with this. Whereas before it was kind of just token XP, dare I say it.
I mean, it was token XP, and it wasn't worth the time to come and drop the XP off, frankly.
Yeah. Exactly.
But the thing that is kind of worth noting about that is that the way that they've changed it, the XP, like, you know, it equates out to 360,000-ish, 350,000 XP per hour of like when you actually go and spend time there, right?
Yeah.
So you add a little bit of time to like go and drop off your resources to fill it up, whatever. But it's, you know, that XP rate for some of the skills is really competitive XP wise in terms of all of the, like, any gathering skills. And then for all of most of those skills, kind of Hunter might be the exception there, but like fletching and construction and herblore, like, it's a fully AFK method that costs nothing. I mean, it costs a little bit of time, but assuming you have your base camp set up and running and you don't need the resources elsewhere, it's a no cost herblore. Like, it's, you know, that saves you a good bit of coin.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I do like it. And
we need to be clear, we're not calling this a skilling method. This is very clearly a quest reward. This is a D&D. This is, it shouldn't have ever been called a skilling method if this is kind of the implementation of it is time gated. If it was a place that we could go and actually, get nodes and obtain resources of any variety, then that would be a skilling method. You know, if it gave us base camp resources, regardless of how useless they might be, but decent experience, like something akin to the Ark, that would be a skilling method.
Would be a skilling
method. This is a D&D. Yeah. This is a D&D.
Yeah. Totally agree. And the one thing, like, and this is actually part of its design, so this isn't like a I mean, I don't know what this is. I know it's a critique, but it's just that it's a bummer that something I don't really have any use for or don't really want to interact with, which has been the base camp, I would have to do for this reward to mean anything to me. And that's just kind of a bummer.
It's true. I mean, that's the other thing is if
because you pretty much want to do this after your base camp is upgraded, right?
Well, if you don't have your base camp upgraded, you only have 10 workers. If you only have the base camp,
okay.
So you get 1/6 as much XP, so that 43k becomes 7k.
Okay.
7k a day is, and your coffers are much smaller, so you have to actually go more frequently. Like, it would be a hassle to do it without upgrading, and much. I mean, it'd be not worth it.
So in regards to many things, then it's kind of like a sliding scale, then.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I want to.
It's an in-game reward.
It is,
but again, my alt, which over the course of 3 months got Anachronia, so I have the base camp fully upgraded on my alt, minus all of the resource things. And again, that another reason to come to this is that it does drop the upgrade resources for the Anachronia base camp. So it does drop your essential oils and your dinosaur hides and tooths and rib bones. And so, my alt will be using this to obtain those rather than running 5 billion laps on that lovely agility course, which is a great agility course. It's just not.
You can say you don't like it if you.
80 laps was enough. That's what I'm going to say. Okay. 80 laps was enough.
You can find full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. If you found this video useful or just enjoyed it, like and subscribe, or leave a comment.